What's up, guys? I'm Mike from StockedUp, and welcome back to the Stocks with Mike and Tom show. We had a pretty boring day in the market today. The markets overall, like the S&P 500, NASDAQ, and Dow, were pretty choppy and boring today, but we did see some pretty interesting movement with Lemonade stock, which is LMND, and Alibaba. They're making a pretty solid rebound. So in this video, we're going to cover all of the plays that we're watching for the rest of this week, and at the end of the video, we have a $12 million option that we are eyeing for the rest of this week. And we do have some pretty important news to go over. So if you guys aren't subscribed already, don't forget to subscribe. Tom and I post brand new videos every single day. But with that being said, Tom, what happened in the stock market today?
Yeah, you can really see that the S&P 500 really ended up falling down today, and which is /ES on Thinkorswim or SPY. And overall, the SPY was pretty red ever since open. For some reason, the futures and just the SPY overall went up overnight last night, and then it ended up falling off this morning on news that McConnell blocks Schumer's bid to unanimously pass $2,000 stimulus checks. And CNBC reports that this happens as the markets start to fall off and the VIX is actually rising. And me and Mike were kind of talking about this earlier, but you can really see the VIX start to pop up off of this news that this bill is going to get blocked. And this is big. The Kentucky Republican faces pressure to act after the House, with nearly all Democrats and a few dozen Republicans on board, voted Monday to boost the cash deposits to $2,000 from $600. Now, Senate Republicans are wary of spending more on the pandemic aid to decide how to handle a vote on a bill backed by President Trump and Democrats as they try to hold onto a majority. So really, it's splitting up the Senate right now, this is, and there's actually a lot of stuff with the Georgia elections right now, and those Republican candidates there back the bill for more money for the $2,000 checks, which is going to be pretty big because obviously if they get elected, they could possibly like sway a vote or something like that, which could be a pretty big deal. But keep in mind that election is January 5th. But this is all really tying into the market today and really just the overall downwards movement that we saw.
Gotcha. So we are very close to all-time highs. Apple actually broke all-time highs today, and the VIX had some pretty interesting movement. The VIX index is up a little over 6%. This is basically telling us, hey, people are buying up the SPX options. The premiums on those options are flying up, which historically is a bearish signal for the market overall. So just be a little wary with the VIX popping up 6%. You don't see this every day, but I definitely wanted to point that out because it is kind of a big deal. So like I said, normally when this happens, the market does fall. The market didn't tank today. You know, it was only down about 0.2%, the SPY was. So just be careful. Premiums are rising. So this might tell us what the smart money is really doing while the market is at all-time highs. So what else happened in the market today?
Lemonade had a fantastic day, jumping over 7% as they rebounded from their previous slide. And CNBC reports that their lockup period from its July IPO actually expired on Tuesday, and the shares actually started falling pretty sharply, which is what we saw whenever the company really started coming to the downside last week. And the big reason was because those investors were allowed to go ahead and sell their shares now. But just keep in mind that they were up around 7 to 10% today, having a very nice gain off of that drop. And if we go to a daily chart, they have done very well this year, so it doesn't surprise me that they have started to pull back a little bit, but hopefully they can kind of retest highs here.
Yeah, for sure. So I just kind of want to explain this catalyst a little bit more. Basically, whenever a stock IPOs or starts on the stock market, you can say it's not like insiders can just sell their shares whenever they want. They actually have what's called a lockup period, which is what we're seeing with Lemonade right now. And basically all that does is it's normally just a couple months where the insiders have to hold their shares. Once that lockup period expires, then they are allowed to sell their shares if they want to. We saw that lockup period expire this week, and we saw LMND really tank yesterday, but now it's starting to creep back up. So that's good to see. And then, Tom, I heard there was some pretty interesting news with Alibaba today.
Yeah, I mean, we just keep talking about Baba, but they keep having some awesome news, and they actually rose more than 5% after the People's Bank of China said that fintech affiliate Ant Group was drafting a plan to set up a financial holding firm, and the report comes amid heightened scrutiny from Chinese regulators around Ant Group's operations. So obviously, Ant Group had to start doing some more stuff to try to, please the Chinese regulators over there, and it looks like that they're doing a pretty good job of that. And they ended up popping back up around 6%. But the big thing is that really Alibaba has been falling so much over the past few months that I'm not surprised to see a couple of green days after that big gap down from 260 all the way down to around 205 to 207 there.
Good stuff. And I've been looking at Boeing recently. They're kind of consolidating the past 2 weeks, but they had some pretty good news that happened recently. What's going on there?
Yeah, 737 MAX passenger jet flights resume in the US after a nearly 2 year ban. And CNBC reports that this could really help BA get going again, but it didn't really move the stock too much today. You can see the stock was actually still red, and they have had quite a few red days over the past couple of weeks, but they're more of consolidating, I would say, than just tanking down right now. And I will say that with this transition and allowance of these passenger jets to fly again, I think that will help them. But at the same time, I still I don't think it's going to help them as far as that specific jet goes. And I think that the overall thing is going to be if people start traveling and we start to see airline flights and stuff like that start picking up, then I think Boeing could do better rather than just this specific airplane helping them go up.
Gotcha. So you're basically saying, like, yes, this is good news, but what we're really looking for are like the airlines to start to see like increased travel and things like that. Maybe more government contracts for Boeing.
Yeah, exactly. Because then if the airlines see more travel, they might start buying more planes and spending more money, of course.
Yeah, exactly. Because if the airlines are in a bad position, it doesn't matter how good this 737 Max is, Boeing will still be in a bad position too. So I like that. I like that input. So let's get right into our member of the day. Today's member of the day is from YouTube, and it's Vicky. So huge shout out to Vicky for always leaving great comments on the videos and asking great questions. As you guys know, comments really help grow our channel, and we really appreciate it. So thank you so much, Vicky, for all the great comments you've been leaving. Tom and I really appreciate it. But with that being said, let's get right into the momentum plays for tomorrow. And the first one we're looking at is Home Depot to the downside.
Yeah, and Home Depot really had a pretty bad day. Go ahead and make them fall below 265, but this stock is really looking like it might start falling off after a few months of just exploding.
Gotcha. With the next one, we have JD to the upside.
JD, yeah, Chinese stock JD coming at us. Go ahead and make them actually pop above the high of a few days ago of above 86.70.
All right. And then we have PDD.
PDD, go ahead and make them pop above 169.
And they're breaking all-time highs too. So definitely keep your eyes on this stock. They have a lot of momentum. We are eyeing JD and PDD potentially to the upside only if they can break above the levels Tom listed. And we are eyeing HD potentially to the downside if they can break below the levels Tom listed. And these are just for quick in and out day trades. But with that being said, let's get right into the $12 million option for the rest of this week. We are looking at the BABA 240 strike call options that expire this Thursday, December 31st. So remember, we do have a short week this week because of New Year's. So yeah, this option expires on Thursday. Looking at BABA, they have a lot of momentum. They had some pretty decent news today, which is good to see, but they're making a great rebound. Overall, looking at the momentum and everything, I would not rule. I would not doubt if the smart money was longing these. I mean, I know they are about $4 out of the money now, $3 out of the money, but BABA's definitely trending upwards. It's really looking to fill that gap from the bad news recently. What do you think?
Yeah, same thing. They just have been running up off of that big drop. I think that they might pop above that 240 level and fill that gap. It looks like that was a pretty key level in pre-market that morning. So hopefully that they can pop above that and that they were longing these just because a lot of people picked up calls whenever it dropped down this low. And really the big thing is like I told a lot of people whenever I saw the big drop, expect a couple of green days to go ahead and consolidate and possibly bring the stock back up, but then it could still possibly head lower. So just keep in mind that it could still head lower with the news, but with all the China news and stuff, hopefully they can like overcome those regulators like they kind of did today, and they can just keep popping and hopefully fill that gap back up. I mean, this has been a pretty good value stock over the past few years, and it's really grown. And I know a lot of people have been looking to pick up shares and stuff since it was like 30% off of highs.
Yeah, all right. Well, let's get right into the questions from the previous episode. With the first question, we have Vicky saying, "Hey, Mike and Tom, if you guys have a chance, can you please take a look at ATVI? It looks like it's ready to break out. Thank you." So, Tom, what are you seeing on a technical level? It looks like they are right at all-time highs.
Yep, they're at all-time highs right now, right around 92, $93. I really like this stock for the long term. I think it might be a little bit high right now. Let's go intraday and look at it. It looks like they're having some problems breaking above 92 to 93. Maybe we'll see a pullback here over the next couple of days. But I really like the stock. Activision, they make Call of Duty and they make a few other games as well, and I think that they do really well on that front. But just keep in mind, I was honestly looking to buy them more whenever they were around 46 and $50, where you can see these white circles down here. This is more of where I was looking to get them. Right now, I think that they're a little bit high, but just given that they're in that gaming slash tech industry, I think that they could do very well. And it seems like a lot of gaming stocks have done very well, like ATVI, and even the new IPO like CRSR, which is Corsair.
And then EA too, they're doing pretty good.
Yeah, EA, Electronic Arts. How can I forget them? They're like one of the biggest ones, and they've done pretty well actually, recovering almost all the way back to highs, and they're right around all time highs as well.
Gotcha. With the next question, we have six saying NKLA took off today. I think NIO is going to drop down to $35. It's been a ride these last few days. Thanks, Mike and Tom. So let's take a look. Right now, NIO had a pretty decent day today, but NIO is an extremely volatile stock. I was talking with a couple other people today about cash secured puts on NIO. And if you like this stock for the long term, I think this can be a great win-win situation. So, for example, let's say we go to the February 19th of 2021 expiration, right? You can sell a 35 strike call option for about $200. If NIO is above $35 by expiration, you keep your $200 and run. But if it's below that, you get to buy 100 shares of NIO at $35. Yeah, at $35. So either way, you're kind of in a win-win as long as you like the stock for the long term. In one scenario, you keep your $200 and run. In the second scenario, you get NIO at a great price. So you could even go further out expiration wise, and further out of the money too. But if you do like NIO for the long term, I really like cash secured puts right now. With the next question, we have Hunter saying, "What everyone needs to do is collectively root for RKT." Tom, what do you think about this one? I know you and Hunter were looking at it.
Yeah, they actually did very well in the middle of the day today and then went off and were extremely flat. I mean, it had some pretty crazy movement today. Hopefully they can start popping back up. I mean, I like this stock for the long term, especially at these levels. You can see that they hit highs of around 34 to $35, and right now we're sitting around 20 to $21. So I think it's a pretty good pickup, especially for the long term, and given that they're a mortgage company. And obviously it might not be the best thing, but at least they do loans and stuff like that. So it's not going to be like, they're like a bank or something. They're strictly like mortgage loans and stuff like that.
Gotcha. With the next question, we have Trade saying January 9th, we have Neo Day. Will Neo still go down? So we'll see what happens, but I just want to stress, please, everyone, be careful on very hyped up events. Tom and I talk about this all the time. A lot of it actually happens with Tesla, like Tesla's Battery Day and certain Tesla earnings events, and a lot of other big catalysts, whether it be with Tesla or other stocks. Just be careful from very hyped up events, because like if we look on Tesla's Battery Day, I know a lot of people were so bullish on Tesla at the time, and even though Tesla ended up uptrending in the long term, in the short term you have to be very careful about overhyped events, because two things happen. One, the event might not live up to expectations. A lot of people were saying the Battery Day was bad, and then another thing is options prices tend to get more expensive. So really just be very careful around very hyped up events like Neo. I hate to see people rush into very far out of the money call options with short expiration dates and end up getting burned. I see it a lot. So just be very careful with overhyped events like this. With the next question, we have Piper saying, can you guys give us your analysis on PFE? Tom, what are you thinking?
Yeah, PFE, just like I said the other day, it looks like that they're just starting to get into a downtrend. And while the vaccine is coming out, you would think that they would go up, but you can see how this really actually sent them slightly down over the past few weeks. And I don't know what to think about PFE. It looks like that they're going to go down, but whenever I look at the max daily chart here, and I see them bouncing, they are hitting a pretty decent support around $36, $37, and you can see they hit that quite a few times in the past over here. But overall, I mean, I just kind of think that over the next couple weeks, I'm just going to keep looking for them to possibly go up. I know a lot of people are looking for them to go down right now, especially with the way they've been over the past couple weeks. But since they do the vaccine and a lot of things like that, I think they might have a lot of investors come into the stock. And I'm just going to be looking for movement back to the upside, just because whenever you look at that daily chart, it looks like a pretty solid swing to the downside. And I think that if we start to see a pop above $39, we could see a run possibly back up to 41, 42 again.
Gotcha. Well, with that being said, Tom, do you have any last minute stocks, options, or any insight for the market for tomorrow?
Yeah, the last thing I'm going to call out is actually VXX, and I know that this is a stock that has definitely been helpful to me in the past, if we want to say that. But VXX has been very fun, and it's just a very volatile stock, and they are kind of bouncing off of a short-term support right now. Don't really look at too big of supports on VXX, but with the overall news right now and the way they popped today, I think that they could have some decent potential to possibly retest, $19 to $20 up here. I think that would not be too far out of the ordinary, especially with the way they're blocking this bill right now. And if the bill doesn't get passed, then obviously people aren't going to get $2,000; they're only going to get 600, and then that might just put a bad sentiment into the market and just kind of dampen how the markets have been hitting new highs and stuff. So whenever that happens, I think that VXX could obviously start popping, and whenever the market's down, VXX generally goes up. So if we start seeing big swings to the downside on the SPY and on the Dow, and especially as we head into the new year, we're about to kick off the new year, which is 2021, and actually 2020 did pretty good. I mean, I know we had the virus and everything, but if we look at like a daily chart of the, let's just go to Dow futures, you can see we're actually higher than where we started 2020 at. So it wasn't the worst year in the world as far as the market goes. And I just think that we still could have some more downwards possibility or downwards momentum come into the markets to start 2021 off. So just be careful of that. And I'll just be watching VXX as it looks like it's going to start popping here.
Gotcha. Everyone, keep in mind that VXX, when that goes up, the market goes down. So keep that in mind, and thank you for sharing that. And thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys are new here, don't forget to subscribe. Tom and I post brand new videos every single day. And if you subscribe, they will appear on your homepage. Comments really help grow our channel, and we really appreciate everyone who takes the 2 seconds to leave a comment. It really helps us. And also, if you like the video, consider hitting that like button. That would also help grow the channel. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, let us know in the comments down below. But other than that, thanks for watching.